It is hot. And we have a project here with Log Hauler Jesse. You notice his truck is empty. I had asked if he could stop by because we got to do some maneuvering with these logs. This is all just to be expected from when we had these logs brought in. I'll explain everything when we get back here. The road's holding up pretty good still. We've had a dry end of June here into July, and that's helped the road get settled. I dug a trench up the side too, which helped with the water to get away from it. So far so good with that. One of the strategies that I am employing is we had laid mats off to the side over here, and we laid all the logs on top of that, and that allowed me to drive my tractor over top of them. Here's what we're doing, guys. I had 2 triaxle loads of logs laid right on these mats, and that allowed me to drive my tractor off of the timbers and onto the mats. Over here, we didn't have any mats to lay down. These are just laying on the ground. So in order for me to get these logs loaded onto this live deck, I would have to go around the back, up the side, and then lay them here. Now this is a different story, don't be confused. And it's just a lot of extra work. So I thought I would hire Log Hauler Jesse, how you doing there?
Good.
To move these logs for me.
Easier me than you, right?
Yeah, I had, when I got to the end, I had logs way down here, and I just forked them all up and set them on the end of the road. And that made me realize, you know, to do these logs the same way, that's a lot of work and a lot of traveling on rough ground with that fork.
Yeah.
So what Jesse is going to do is get his crane and just pick these up and lay them here. And then that way I can just drive my tractor onto here, fork them, and then head on up the road.
I need the practice.
Yeah, so, okay, Log Hauler Jesse, I guess it's no surprise, but you have been unfaithful to me. You've been taking logs to a undeserving YouTube channel.
Yeah, you can't handle all the logs I haul.
Yeah. So you got to go over to Adam's place. Really nice place, huh?
Yeah.
What was that like for you in the truck to get in there? No problems?
Yeah, there was no problems. I drove right up around. There was no issues.
Okay.
Just didn't have a full load. That was the only thing, but I didn't realize till I got there was only about 3/4 of a load.
They look like nice logs,
Yeah,
though, huh?
yeah.
Okay. This is 2 triaxle loads here, so we're just going to just shift them over to here, and that will allow me to get my tractor in here and get them loaded. All right, so we're going to stay back and watch.
Yeah,
is that okay?
back.
Yeah, I will. This is as far as the timbers come, guys. And it worked out great. I was able to fork every single one of these logs off. These timbers kept them off the ground, kept them out of the mud. And I went through this, this was 14 cords, I think. Well, it wasn't technically 14, close, more like 11. I got them all made in the Firewood, and the 405 is very productive. And what is nice about it, I'm getting bugs crawling on me here. It takes the bigger log, and I can just zip through these logs a lot faster. So we're gonna watch Log Hauler Jesse here climb up into his office. Here's that area I mowed down with that flail mower, and that's been a big help too. So let's get out of the way here. Outriggers are going down. Look at that extra care, guys. He didn't want those laying across each other. I'm gonna change my vantage points. That's a funny looking tree there. It's got a lot of branches on it. We'll have to trim those off. I'll get some video of me loading these logs up, guys, but I'm still doing the same thing. I'm using my tape measure. I cut these in half and I just fork them up to the live deck. I do about 1 cord a day, usually less than a cord, but never more than a cord. It's just, that's my own governor, I think, on how much I feel like doing in a day, simply because I have to stack the wood. And the help that I have that stacks for me, can only come for a couple hours out of the day. So I'm only going to get 1 trailer load stacked. I guess the day might come where I can do multiples in a day, but I don't know. I think that's just one of the things about being self-employed, is I don't think I'm in a hurry. I hear the refrain that time is money, but I don't know. I don't know if I necessarily believe that. At least for me. Gee whiz. That one went flying. This is all, looks to be silver maple. These are long, tall, and skinny. A lot of these tree stands out in this part of the country. These get, and I think these came off of a farmer's land. When they start opening up more fields, these silver maples grow tall and straight. And really that's just ideal wood, for a firewood processor. So the average size of all of these logs were from many a time of me nagging log hauler Jesse about getting me skinnier logs for my 365. But now, things have changed, and I'll show you how big of a log I'm getting onto my live deck now, because this 405 just takes a much bigger log. But all of these are going to make really nice firewood. You probably aren't going to hear very many firewood guys out there say this, but my favorite firewood is silver maple. It is. It's easy to work with. It looks great. It splits down nice. It dries fast, and the restaurants love it, which are my bread and butter. And silver maple gets a bad rap because it's low BTUs, but remember, my customers aren't interested in heat for firewood. I say that my customers are looking for warmth. My customers are usually the weekend people that are just looking for a couple nights of fires. And that's how I'm able to stay profitable, because I can spend more time making the firewood nice, making it attractive. I sell smaller quantities, and because of that, I'm able to command a higher price per cord. The customer that I try to stay away from is the customer like me, who's looking for the cheapest, least expensive solution out there. And if I'm trying to make a living selling firewood, I am not in a position for volume. And you might be looking, at a lot of this logs that I have out here. This is a triaxle load. I got another one up here. This one here is a triaxle of all oak. You might be, if you are just a person that has just a general interest in, there's that burl. If you remember that, we had moved that out of the way. That could be worth money, who knows. But if you are a person who's just, you know, making firewood for a hobby or just for fun, or you're just a couple cords a year, this might look like a lot of firewood, but where I'm at now with my volume, I'm starting to sweat it out a little bit now, because this pile here is going to be gone in no time, and that leads me to make this oak. And then these over here are going to be more chainsaw and my Eastonmade axis. They're a little bit bigger logs. I got those 2 loads pretty cheap, otherwise I wouldn't have taken them. But like there's that's a big ash right there, and a cherry right in front of it. You know, those won't fit even in this machine. A lot of you guys and gals who watch the channel have seen Log Hauler Jesse up and down the roads here in Northeast Ohio and in Western Pennsylvania. If you're out this way, chances are you will run into him, because this truck lives on the road. Well, that load has a lot of trees that are connected, you know. I'll have to be snipping those off with the saw. There, he's trying to break it off for me. Look at that. Look at that. Way to go. Boy, these are nice looking logs. Let me sneak in here real quick and show you the scale here. This is, that's a nice looking log. I got all this grass mowed down too, and that's nice, because this was becoming tick field. I'm up to 6 ticks for the year that I've pulled off of me. It's not been a good year for ticks. Shows you how strong that grapple is. Look at that. Service with a smile, huh? But that is something to appreciate, how the log hauler takes extra time to make sure all these logs are laying straight, because, you know, you get one in there crooked and then nothing fits right. It becomes a little bit dangerous, because one's going to roll down on top of the other. You know, my old Japa 365 took a 14-inch log. This one takes a 16-inch log. And it doesn't sound like much, but in reality, there's a big difference, it seems, between 14 and 16 inch. Like this log here, there is no way I would ever put this log through my old machine. And this 405, and I've been working the 8-way, it just makes mincemeat out of these logs. So this here, and then this sounds weird. I mean, it sounds weird to me. Probably you guys are laughing at me right now, but you get more wood out of the bigger logs. You do. And it's less work. It's the same way with Log Hauler Jesse. He had said, you know, working with skinnier logs requires more work for him. And I notice it too, loading my live deck up. You know, with skinnier logs, it takes more work. Bigger logs, you can get them, there's less to move, but there's more wood inside of them. elm. That looks like an elm tree right there. That's no good. But maybe I'll get some videos of the 405 splitting an elm. Nice. Boy, this is nice looking wood. I think log hauler Jesse just saved me probably 2 extra days of work by moving these logs like this for me. So he is almost fully extended. He's just pulling them back. These were delivered by a different logger, and I'll show you here when all these logs are taken out, but we laid down runners. There's 2 runners that they're laying on top of to keep the keep the bottom ones out of the mud. Look at the reach of that thing, man. That's a heck of a reach. That's that burl. We're gonna set that off to the side here. And just like that, guys, we are done, man. All right, so Jesse, I want to offer you money, but I know that you're going to turn me down because things are probably easy for you now with the price of fuel and having an efficient truck like that up and down the road.
Yeah, it's going so easy. I just burned fuel right up them stacks.
Yeah, wow. So let's talk about this. So Jesse called me yesterday, and it was a depressing phone call, right? You know, where the prices are starting to go up now.
Yeah.
And if you know, let's just say that I could have bought this load for $700. We're now like up to 900,
yeah.
950.
Well, it depends. It all depends. Most of your loads that I've been getting you have been around the area, close. But now that you got this new machine and you're chewing it up a little faster, you need more out here. So
yeah.
Unfortunately, the distance is the biggest thing.
The fuel prices are just, they're very noticeable.
Yeah.
I've always had this belief that when you're faced with a crisis, you do 3 things. You breathe, you develop a plan, and then you execute it. So,
or you just go straight forward.
So yeah, so yesterday I had to take some breaths because I was starting to, you know, I'm not into my numbers that much, but I was into them yesterday thinking, oh my God.
Yeah.
You know, this is starting to hurt here.
Well, the other trouble is with prices being up, everybody's going to start putting in wood burners and trying to burn their own wood, so it's going to be a little more difficult. The guys out in the, you know, cutting the stuff know that, so
right.
They got to make money too, and everything costs more. So.
You had told me yesterday, which really hit close to home, was you know, the fact that I'm a business and I'm volume and I can be a reliable customer, which you would think would command I could get a better price on this.
Yeah, we can work on that.
Well,
part.
Jesse said that ain't this guy can not, you know, Jesse said the logger, that ain't gonna happen anymore because the logger can sell it and get his price,
right.
Because everyone's looking for firewood right now. So last year we had shortages because there was just no logs getting into the firewood market.
Right.
This year we just got way too much demand.
Yeah, that's the other thing. Like a lot of times the guys don't want to take the extra time because to make a, you know, there's right there a load, 2 loads, you're looking at 200 pieces. So they'll drag them out a couple at a time. So they got to bring them out with the other logs, take the time, cut them, trim them, hook them up, pull them out. It's, you know, most of the time firewood's just a hassle if you don't have the landing,
right,
or the guys. You know, if you just have 1 guy or 2 guys, it's, you know, it's a lot more work for them.
And that's what we had learned on a previous video when you had said how firewood slows you down because it's more pieces that you got to pick up. And we saw that
Break more
firsthand.
things on my truck with firewood than I do anything
I bet.
else.
Yeah. Well, you saw some of those times. You know, they're slippery and they're all messed up in the grapple, and one can slip out and rip an air hose off. And
Oh yeah, I've done plenty of that. But you know, usually it's my stack. I'll smack the stack or knock a light off or poke it through the back of the cab.
Ugh.
I popped my window out before.
fortunately, parts are cheap on these big trucks.
Labor's cheap on that
Yeah.
truck for me. But it's free.
So here's the other thing. So Jesse, if you recall in the previous, how long have we known each other now? 3 years?
It seems
all,
like 10.
all of the times where I've just nagged and nagged and nagged. These logs are too big. I need smaller logs, smaller logs.
Yeah, and I kept
Okay.
saying you don't get the cordage out of the smaller log.
Well, now, Jesse, that we've mastered these small logs,
Yeah,
we are now going to do the opposite, okay?
Oh yeah, you got the
So
new machine.
start bringing me bigger logs now. I don't want to mess with these small logs. You're killing me. So now I can take bigger logs, man. So that increases our versatility. And then if there is a huge one on it, we still got the Eastonmade axis and a chainsaw.
Well, the part you don't know is when I'm sorting through stuff, I usually put your stuff as I'm going through the firewood piles. I'd always kind of keep the smaller ones. There's always more bigger ones, but I usually don't bring them because I know that you couldn't put them through the other machine. So,
Well, that's why you're an awesome log hauler,
yeah,
Jesse. All right. Well, guys, we need to get log hauler Jesse out of here. The one thing I learned is whenever the truck is empty, someone is not making money. So he needs to head on down the road.
It's
All right.
Friday, I'm heading home.
Or home.
Yeah.
All right. Well, everyone, if you think log hauler Jesse is super cool, hit that thumbs up button. And I guess I got to get busy making firewood, huh?
You gotta chop all that stuff up.
Yeah, I do. All right, guys. I hope everyone has a great day.